Next on.
Pia za kuudhi ambazo hufanywa pia na baadhi yenu nyinyi wafanyikazi wa nyumbani.
Chau. Hizo ndo tabia zenye unafanyanga hapa kitchen mkiwa peke yako.
Sio urembo mama. Wanibipu.
Ubipu vipi?
Hivyo na kuinama wanipiga picha.
Kwa nini hivyo?
Hivyo nilivyovaa nguo hiyo na wainama hapo wanipiga picha.
Na huo ni ungwana.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Women are making great strides in trade, in not just in family, in trade, in many other spheres. And this week we want to explore what are women doing. Okay.
Choose to challenge.
Okay.
So what are you choosing to challenge?
Wow.
I'm choosing to challenge myself in many things which I'll share.
Many of us women, when we are given hard opportunities, the first thing we think is, I don't want to be involved in that. Yeah. I don't see, what am I getting out of that?
There is a cliche that used to say women don't support women. I want to believe, and I've seen it with my two eyes, that that has changed. That is in the past. So if you ever hear anyone saying that, I choose to challenge. I choose to challenge.
Matches don't come any bigger than the Emirates FA Cup quarter-finals, which will take center stage this weekend. While Manchester United have a mouth-watering trip to the King Power Stadium, where they will face Leicester City at 8 p.m. Live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Many thanks for staying with us. I want to unpack more of what is inside our papers as it pertains to other different stories. And how about we look at matters COVID-19? And this comes at a time when, as of yesterday, 19,900 frontline workers had been vaccinated, with the AstraZeneca jab. And this also comes at a time when the WHO experts meet on AstraZeneca jab as vaccine cases rises, where the WHO safety experts now prepared to meet. This was on Tuesday over the AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine, whose rollout has been halted in several European countries over blood clot fears. And now also this particular crisis, as it pertains to the same vaccine, comes as a number of countries battling worrying surges in COVID infections. A grim reminder that the battle against this virus is far from over. In particular, this is in Norway, capital Oslo, also announced tougher measures to stop the spread of this virus. And part of these measures include closing of secondary schools, as it reported a record number of cases just in the last week. And also, as we talk about tougher measures being introduced, the same was also witnessed here in the country, where the health CS Mutahi Kagwe also announced again even more tougher measures. And again, this comes at a time when in the last 24 hours the country has recorded a record of 1,279 new infections. Just from that particular number, we are seeing how the numbers are rising steadily day in, day out. And also part of what he mentioned is that he wants Kenyans that they are largely on their own, as a majority of hospitals are now stretched, and with some recording 100% admissions compared to the month of January when the cases were just at 30%. But still, in as much as there's a lot of skepticism surrounding this particular vaccine, Kenya still stands steadfast in saying that they will not halt on the rollout of this COVID-19 jabs. And yes, in as much as there could be side effects here and there, because as it was reported yesterday, at least 43 persons have reported side effects, and these are out of the, the 19,900 that have been vaccinated thus far. But yes, in as much as they have reported the side effects, also part of what the Doctors Association said is that they are not serious or severe side effects. They're just minor effects here and there. And again, in as much as we talked about the countries in the European part of the globe which have suspended the administering of this vaccine, again, also in the African continent, the Democratic Republic of Congo has also suspended this vaccine. So which other more countries will continue suspending this vaccine, even as Kenya says they will not? They'll continue to roll out the COVID-19 vaccine. Ray.
And on that note, just to clarify, is that they say that no single case of adverse side effects have been reported among those who have received the jab so far, except for 40 cases of mild headache and fever. Now, this comes also made claims by a section of stakeholders in the healthcare sector who say that there's been a lapse in carrying out proper sensitization on the AstraZeneca vaccine that is continuing to cause a lot of anxiety among the Kenyan populace. A detailed report prepared by reporter Purity Museo.
With the country witnessing its third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic.
There, remember, you can get further details in regard to this particular story that we had prepared for you on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. Also, some of the developing stories that we're also keenly following up for you is a senatorial by-election that is currently underway in Machakos County, and we have our reporter Kamche Manza on ground, keeping us updated on what is going on there. Remember, we have 11 candidates for this senatorial post there that was left vacant after the former senator passed on last year in December. Now, still focusing on those stories that are making headlines. Now, yesterday there was a landmark ruling, and it is a win for women as a court dismissed the suit seeking to decriminalize FGM. Now, a doctor had wanted the FGM decriminalized and reorganized as a cultural right. They lost the legal battle after the Constitutional Court dismissed that particular case. This decision was made by a three-judge bench of the Constitutional Court. And in their decision, they said that this particular decision has been termed as a major boost in the fight against FGM. The judges said that the evidence adduced before them by the witnesses indeed showed both short and long-term negative effects of the practice. A landmark ruling there and a win for anti-FGM campaign. Remember, further details are all available on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. Jen.
For your court battle.
Indeed.
All right, now I want to get to this particular notice that has been put on the Daily Nation by the Nairobi Metropolitan Service, and this is in regards to the disposal of unclaimed bodies. So there are 105 unclaimed bodies that are lying at the city mortuary, 11 at the Mama Lucy Hospital Funeral Home, and 3 at the Mbagathi Hospital Funeral Home. And all of these, according to this particular notice, is that those that are at the Nairobi City Mortuary, all of these 105 bodies were admitted there in the year 2020. They go ahead to write the day of admission, the name for those who have been identified or had documents that could identify them, the police station which they came through, and the cause of death. And just going through this, it's heartbreaking getting to see many of these people here are unknown. There's so many unknown tags. And key to note is that most of these are unknown male adults. Most of the causes of death here are accidents, shooting, drowning, natural death, mob, suicide, fire, as well as sudden. Those are the causes of death that have been indicated here. And they go on to also indicate the ages, the estimated ages for the bodies that are, the 11 bodies that are at the Mama Lucy Hospital Funeral Home, and the 3 that are at the Mbagathi Hospital Funeral Home. So if you do know you have a family member that passed on in the year 2020 and you do not know their whereabouts of their body, you can check this full page on the Daily Nation, that is page 19, because once this time that has been given here by the NMS, they have given 7 days for the public to claim these bodies of their loved ones, and failure to which the Nairobi Metropolitan Services will seek authority for the disposal of all these bodies. So if you know someone who is in the process of trying to find the body of a loved one, maybe you can redirect them to have a look at some of this information that is here on the papers that could go a long way in helping identify a lost loved one.
All right, now let's look at some stories that are making headlines when it comes to matters education very, very quickly. And this in regards to what the CS mentioned yesterday when he was speaking in Kwale County as it pertains to the oncoming exams that are expected to begin next week. And this also just comes at a time where they're saying that they're getting wind of information that learners intend to write answers on masks. Remember that they mentioned that all the COVID-19 protocols will be adhered to, including sanitizing, washing of hands, as well as wearing of masks. And what they're getting is that now candidates are planning to write their answers on masks. And of course, this just comes amid a time when there's a lot of fears as it pertains to this exam. But also part of what he said is that learners have covered the syllabus. All that they needed to have covered, despite of the COVID-19 disruptions, they have entirely covered that, and they're not as it pertains to this oncoming exams. And also he said that there will be thorough inspection of the masks before the candidates get into exam room. And again, also this comes at a time where they assured that every candidate, regardless of whether they were displaced because of either insecurity issues or floods, they assured that all of them, as long as you had registered, they will be sitting for their national exams come on Monday. So that is what the ministry also plans to do as it pertains to just ensure that there's, no cheating or stealing in this oncoming national exams.
Doreen, you've mentioned that issue of cheating and how they fear that the students are going to be writing answers on masks. And let me tell you, there's this video that I came across showing guys how they can cheat in exams.
What was it showing?
Well, sitaki kusema ni kweli usikie. We are referring back to Jane Momboyo in Good Morning Kenya, who was giving pointers on how you can go about cheating. But it's crazy that, we are living in a time where we are actually having do-it-yourself videos to show people how they can cheat for exams. Nakumbuka back in the day, Kamwax. Ile pressure ulikuwa nayo.
Penye zilikuwa zinaandikwa tu.
Ukijua uko na Kamwa Kenya. But anyway, let's wait and see how this this year is a year of learning, and especially when it comes to the education system in our country, as we try to make up for lost time and at the same time rolling out a new curriculum. It's just a learning time. Right.
Now, on one of the stories that we highlighted for you from last week, and this is in regard to the Kenya-Somali border, and there was a development where it was said that, Kenya has pulled out. Now, a clarification is that Kenya will be arguing its case at the ICJ, and it's going to be, just giving its talking points as to why, this issue has come up again. And it has been said ungrateful neighbors that are motivated by expansionist agenda. Remember, I asked you yesterday to just get a hold of, the maritime, Kenya-Somali maritime dispute map and see what Somalia is arguing. Yesterday there, documents that were seen by various media houses just showed that a link to the D2 terror attack that happened is that those, the masterminds had made up to 140 calls to their counter, or rather their colleagues in Somalia there. So the issue of the Kenya-Somali maritime border dispute is not just a matters of exploitation and, you know, boundaries. It goes deeper into matters of security. So today, Kenya will be arguing its case on the maritime boundary dispute there with Somalia. And Kenya is said to state that unlike Somalia, which has always been ready for the hearing since September 2019, it has not had any real opportunity to prepare for the hearings since it engaged a new legal team in January 2020. Remember, Kenya changed its legal team in this particular matter beginning of this year, so Kenya is going to be arguing that they need more time to actually prepare their case. Remember, if this particular verdict comes out in favor of Somalia, Kenya stands to lose quite a lot. We're talking about 113,600 kilometers square of that particular maritime border that is in dispute. Persons who live in Lamu are, inherently fishermen. So these are some of the issues around this issue of the maritime border. Remember, Kenya is going to be arguing its case today. Let's cross to the roads in Otulong.
All right, now a quick look on the roads before we get to embark on our day's discussion, and we are still looking at University Way, given that that is our focus this morning. Let's try and see if at all things have changed, or it's just as how it was. You can remember earlier on there was really, the heavy kind of traffic, especially around this particular roundabout. But again, it is one of those busy roundabouts. So ultimately, when we see the kind of heavy gridlock is basically what you'd expect to see. And clearly, as of now, it is no different. In fact, it has changed for the worst. This is how it is looking like as of now. Heavy kind of traffic, in fact, on major parts of this roundabout. But as I told you again, a section of this route, in fact, the entire way, just as you leave areas around Kenyatta Avenue, coming through Uhuru Highway, as you get to branch off from the roundabout, they are still, again, going through Uhuru Highway on the other side of, this is what, as you head over to Wayaki Way, some parts bit of this road has been closed, like I mentioned, and this is to necessitate that construction of the expressway there. So look at how it is looking like, especially on that particular section as you get to branch off heading to the other side of Nyerere Road, as well as State House Road. On that section, this is how it is looking like. That red color is just an indicator that there's heavy kind of traffic moving at a very slow pace. This is just how actually it was earlier on, and this is how it is even as of now on that side there. So again, it means for our viewers coming from the areas around City Center, coming through University Way, before you get to the roundabout, if at all you're going to areas around State House Road, Nyerere, or even on the other side of Valley Road, and you are intending to use this route, then you'll have to make do with that traffic. However, on the other side, if again you're coming from those roads which I've just mentioned, those sleep roads there, coming to CBD or along University Way or on the other side of Uhuru Highway, then at least on that section there for you, it is a smooth sailing, no traffic at all. But also it's very important for me to mention that, this sleep roads that I'm just mentioning right now, the State House as well as Nyerere Road, is one of those roads that do not cater for public transport. So it's only for motorcycles as well as private cars. So ultimately, it's one of those roads where there's oftentimes, the heavy kind of traffic, because at least it is limited for the kind of vehicles that it caters for. On the other side, again, things are getting thick on this specific route. This is again throughout the entire roundabout, especially as you leave areas around CBD, coming all the way through University Way as you get to branch off to the other side of Uhuru Highway. Heavy kind of traffic there, just on some sections here and there where there's a bit of opening, but ultimately all through the entire route, heavy kind of traffic. And if at all you are using this route, then it just means we can't look at any alternative route because there is none. So it just means that you'll have to make do with this traffic, especially on this specific route. And this is how it is looking like in terms of traffic, at least and wow, look at this. this has just changed right now. This is still along University Way. Actually, as you leave areas around Kipande Road, Ojijo, as well as the Globe Roundabout, all the way from Thika Super Highway coming through University Way, just next to Anniversary Towers there. This has changed right this very minute, and it is now at a parking lot, not moving at all, just at a standstill. And this is why we are seeing that maroon color there. This is not as how it was. I mean, look at this. This is actually how it is looking like, at least as of now. Heavy kind of gridlock there, but at least the beauty is that on the other side it's green all through, meaning it's moving at a very, very fast pace. And this is actually again how it is looking like in terms of traffic, at least as of now. Maybe just as we try to conclude, how about we look at how Kenyatta Avenue, again one of those major roundabouts, is doing in terms of traffic, at least also on this particular one. Not that bad. This is around Kenyatta Avenue, not really that bad compared to how University Way was looking like, at least on this specific one. You know, we can clearly see smooth moving of vehicles here and there, clearly indicated by that orange color there on that section. But also on this route is one of those areas where there has been a lot of ongoing road works, and this in regards to the unmotorized transport system. In fact, if anything, this is one of those major roads or major areas or even major roundabouts where we began seeing that NMT being put in place by the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, at least to make it easy again for pedestrians. Like I keep telling you all the time, is that part of what also they're trying to do is to make it easy for pedestrians, in as much as they also want to make it easy for those on vehicles, both public and private. And this is how it is looking like on this particular one. You can clearly see that that is serving its purpose very, very well. Look at how it is doing in terms of traffic, at least no traffic there. Green all through on major parts of that route. On the other section, again, all through Kenyatta Avenue as you get to branch off from that particular roundabout, again, moving at a pretty fast pace. On the other side, though, as you are coming to City Center via Uhuru Highway, before you get to Kenyatta Avenue, heavy kind of traffic, and that has also been well indicated by that maroon color there, which just shows heavy gridlock, not moving at all, just at a standstill. That is how this is actually how it is looking like, at least as of now. But at least looks like things are opening up a bit here and there on that section there. Again, this is why we are seeing that red color there on that section. At least it looks, again, also things are opening up a bit around the roundabout. This is still through Kenyatta Avenue roundabout, and the same also goes all the way through via Uhuru Highway, coming all the way to University. In fact, on this section of the road between Kenyatta Avenue roundabout and the University Way roundabout, on these two sections of this road, actually on this section rather, between these two roundabouts, is where there's really heavy kind of traffic. And the sad part is that this is actually on both lanes. On this specific one, when I'm talking about both lanes, it just simply means as you leave University Way roundabout, coming through Uhuru Highway before you get to Kenyatta Avenue, as well as leaving all the way from Langata Road, from Mombasa Road, from the Nyayo Stadium roundabout, from Haile Selassie, coming all the way through Uhuru Highway as you get to the University Way roundabout. So this, when I'm talking about both lanes, this is just specifically what I'm meaning on this particular section. And again, the kind of traffic being witnessed there is, you know, the heavy kind of traffic. But also this is that part of that road where I was telling you that it has been closed a bit, again, to necessitate that expressway. How about, again, we come just to quickly check on what is happening along University Way and on that section coming all the way from Uhuru Highway as you get to the roundabout. Also on that part, heavy kind of traffic. And this is actually how it is looking like, at least as of now. Our focus has keenly been on what has been happening around University Way, but we still have more of what is on, actually still have more on the show. And today being Thursday, we have Entertainment Thursday. So you want to find out what we have for you after this.
fanya hivi, wewe teremuka tu chini. Hata watu wanangojea, unasema unione, si ninakuona ndio huyu kucha. Kucha ninakuona. Nimekuita mara ngapi Kate? This is the Nissan Note.
Hii ndio motoka.
Not that this is the Nissan Note we are giving out.
Na ni rahisi sana kuwekelea bid. Unaenda kwenye lipa na M-Pesa. Unaweka paybill number 4032353. Kisha unakelea account number ya Nissan Note ni Note, N-O-T-E. Namba ambayo unapenda, labda unapenda 100, labda unapenda 200. Wekelea Note 100, Note 200. Alafu tutakuitisha shilingi 40 peke yake, 40 bob only. Weka pin yako, utakuwa umekelea bid ya hii Nissan Note. Inakungoja wewe mahali popote ulipo. Mimi na mtumishi tutakupea.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Wiki hii kwenye Project 254.
Wakati KCC walianza modernization, ndio tukafurahi sana. Tukaona tumefika nyumbani.
Tunafaidika na hii kiwanda sababu hakuna bahari nyingine tunapelekaga maziwa tangu zamani.
Zamani tulikuwa tunakunywa tu maziwa, lakini wakati huu tunashukuru Mungu kwa sababu tumepata mahali ya kupeleka KCC.
Alhamisi saa 2:30 kwenye runinga ya KBC Channel 1.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Then my mother will start.
Julia, come here.
Look at this one. You have been given 4 bananas and your brother ate 2. How many are you remaining with? Then I would answer 4. She would give me poor coffee a single.
Mr. Tisha, please help me before nijitie kitani. Please help me, Mr. Tisha. Where will I get 350,000, Mr. Tisha? Where?
Mama Kinyanjui. Caroline. Si tuongee kando kidogo,
I don't play such games. I don't need a man in my life.
Classmates, every Saturday on KBC.
Matches don't come any bigger than the Emirates FA Cup quarterfinals, which will take center stage this weekend as the quest for a new champion continues. Before the All Northwest tie at Goodison Park, where Everton will be looking forward to another thriller against favourites Manchester City at 8:30 p.m. Live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Samahani kaka, ningeomba tu nijue wewe ni nani katika hii familia.
Kwa nini? Shamsa, usianze kuniletea aibu. Mimi nakuuliza mambo ya chakula na mambo ya wanawake.
Mara majini, mara nafuata hotelini, yani sielewi. Nipeleke nyumbani.
Ofisi iko tayari na nilifanya interviews za secretaries. Yani kwa ufupi, everything is ready.
Wonderful.
And welcome back to the program. We continue with more of what is on Good Morning Kenya, but also the president is expected to address the nation as the chair of the East African community. The moment he gets to do that, we'll be just crossing over there to see what he'll be telling us. But also away from that, today is on Thursday, so you know it is Entertainment Thursday, and we want to begin our conversation of the day. Our focus is going to be specific on Rumba music. On set, I'm joined by the artist himself, Yabadu.
Yes.
Together with your producer. All right, but we'll just be talking to you and at least to help us understand more about Rumba music, because as I was telling you earlier on, we don't really hear a lot of that style, especially hapa East Africa, ama hapa Kenya. But for you, that is what you are doing as a person. Tell us a bit about that.
Honestly, there is lots of rumba music. It's only that people don't know about it most of the time. Hakuna exposure enough ya rumba, especially the new school kind of rumba, what I'm doing. What I'm doing, I call it Rumba Ken. So
that's why you call yourself the Prince of Rumba Ken.
The Prince of Rumba Ken. I keep on telling people I'm not the Prince of Rumba.
They just decide to call
I'm
you.
the Prince of Rumba Ken, not Rumba necessarily. So
Rumba Ken is what brings the new school bit.
Yeah, it's Rumba Ken is a fusion of trap, rumba, and sofu benga, and we have a sax on it. Guitars, and my kind of lyrics are new school. Sheng, Kiswahili, and vernacular. Yeah.
And unaamua kurepresent Kenya to the fullest.
Kila mahali.
Utumie Kizungu, tumie Kiswahili, na utumie lugha ya mama. All right, before we go further and even to understanding, your style and why you chose to actually fuse all of that into one to make what you're calling the Rumba King, you are in a duo group, Red Acapella.
Yes. Shout out to my guy, you guy, my guy, my guy. Yes, I was in a group called Red Acapella, formerly and maybe well known for their song with Had the Band, Tena na Tena.
Exactly. Tunaifanya tena na tena.
Yeah, and a song with Mike Roa, Swag na Kadhalika.
There's also Taboo.
There's Taboo with 1 to 5.
Yeah, you see, I know you. I know.
Hey, homework.
I know.
Yeah, so I was in a group called Red Acapella for the longest time possible, and here I am.
So then, I'd want to understand, because especially here in Kenya, utapata group mingi sana zinaanza pamoja, but after a while they will disintegrate or just decide to go their way or just do solo like you've done. Does it mean that it's so hard to do music in a group for long? Yes, you've seen the likes of Sauti Sol and Lani, sticking together, and the dynamics are different, we know. But what is so difficult about, being in a group? Because again, also the likes of Kina Kleptomaniacs from back in the day, waliachana, when you come to the gospel, see the likes of Kina Emoji, also the same happen. So what is so difficult?
It's nobody's wish to break a group or stop being in a group. It's mostly ni life too, get and vision. And for me, for those who keep on asking, it wasn't about money or any disagreement or we don't want to do this or that.
Yeah, because that one always comes up a lot.
It was a mutual decision. We've been together and we need to grow personally. My colleague is really a good producer. He's the one who produced Tena na Tena. So he's pursuing music plus production. So kuna challenges too, one, two. But if you ask me, I'll tell you, groups need support, resources and everything for groups to grow. Otherwise, itabaki tu manze, nimeamka leo niko na shida zangu, wewe umeamka kesho uko na shida zako. Tukisema tupatane rehearsal, siwezi fika, siwezi kuambia. So there's a lot going on in groups. And we need support mostly.
Actually, I can agree to that, because again, also it cuts across, whether it's a music group or you're just doing stage acting. Groups is not as as easy as it can. So now to your producer,
Sadiki himself.
Sadiki himself. Okay, tell us a bit about you doing this kind of style and also producing Yaba.
I'd say I met Yaba really through the internet. He had I make covers on YouTube.
On the socials?
Yeah. So we met and then we talked about the music. I'd met him before. So when he played for me his demos, I was really impressed. And I was like, you know what? Because even me, I needed to move out of my comfort zone of making music. So we decided, let's sit together and try to figure out how this Rumba King would come. And we created, I think we made a lot of good music. When people come for that event, they'll get to hear everything.
Actually, which there's an upcoming event, which you'll be telling us on the tail end of the conversation. But still sticking a bit with that, Rumba vibe, just the way I was also telling you guys off air, is that we don't hear a lot of that sound, and specifically East Africa, because part of what we know about Rumba is that it originated from from African slaves in Cuba. That was in the 16th century, Ukoma days, back in the day, before it moved to different parts of the African continent, countries like the DRC and the likes. But here, Huku kwetu, we have style for us, which is not quite Rumba. So you being a producer, producing such kind of a style, how is it?
I think it's really cool. I think people need to really explore. Like people shouldn't be defined by genres in music. Because music cuts across every. I mean, even you, to be honest, I'm sure you listen to music, you don't even understand the lyrics.
Music, as long as
you don't understand the lyrics, but if it's bouncing, you'll dance. If it's groovy, you'll enjoy it. And I feel that's what should happen. Even me, I never imagined one day I'd be sitting creating rumba.
Oh wow!
But here I am creating rumba, and it's really good music because it's also making me get exposed to a lot of different music that I'd never hear in my normal day-to-day life.
That you didn't imagine yourself creating rumba, does it mean that ilikuja tu?
I think for me, music is just something that is natural. Okay. It's like when you wake up, you learn how to walk and do things. So for me, I try really to understand how do we make this, like for example, if it was rumba Kenya, how do we make rumba Ken different from the common rumba? And that's how we try and make it sound.
Oh, okay. So, and you said something which I'd want us to explore about genres in a short while. But coming back to you, Yaba, I'd love you to tell us, like, what difference have you spotted? And I know you've told us that there was nothing, there was no, anything bad. It was just out of mutual agreement. And sometimes, people grow and you want to do sometimes your own stuff. But what is the difference that you've spotted, perhaps working in a group and now doing solo artistry?
I always reverse the question. Before I answer, it's not like there wasn't freedom, but there's more freedom and the choices of making time ya ku make choices, and there's no back and forth. If I say nitafanya hii, nitadu, you get. But for me, the difference is personal growth, because now it's me and it's me alone. So it's either it works ama itaacha kuwork. So personal growth. During COVID lockdown, I wrote a bunch of songs, and that's why we are about to launch the EP called Rumba Ken. So personal growth, the difference because
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Now tell us about that, the EP Rumba Ken. What it's all about? What was the idea, or what is the idea behind it?
I would really say this is like the best project I've ever done since I started being a musician, or nilianza kufanya mziki. So Rumba Ken is a compilation of 6 songs produced by 4 producers, produced under Bengatronics. There's a producer called Sham in the UK. So tulikolabo watu wanne and him also. So it's a compilation of 6 songs, and it's being called Rumba Ken, and it's a fusion of trap, benga, and rumba. Yeah, so we will launch it on 11th of April live at the Alchemist. So it's entrance free, but for once we are doing something called Loyalty Pass. Loyalty Pass is simply just go to yaba.hustle sasa and pre-order the EP at 500 bob. So msiange kuja alipe show bado atabai. It means like sas juu ni free.
Watu wakuje na wakuje kwa wingi.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's
come.
11th of April?
Yes.
Let's have that conversation.
Yeah.
But I should come. All right, let's talk about your influence. When it comes to rumba, because then again, when you hear most rumba artists, especially wa kizazi kipya wa sasa, they will talk about the likes of Kina Franco being, people that influenced them from back in the day, the likes of Kina Kofi, Fali. For you, who is it and why?
Let me just start here, Kenya. Mangelepa, Super, Mazembe, nani mwingine? Remy Ongala, TZ, but when I was like, nikianza hii journey ya rumba, my manager actually, Tisoni, is a rumba lover, so alini introduced. I used to listen to Kofi hizo times, ile tape.
I just knew at least kwa tukama watapop. They're always an inspiration to most rumba artists.
Yeah, and Kofi, Fali, but honestly, my love is Fali all the time, anytime. But kuna famous guitarists kama kina Simaru, Litumba, ATC, Werason, Eritre, wako wengi sana, but Fali anytime. Anytime.
Fali anytime.
Fali Ipupa anytime. Like that's my dream collab. Fali.
Wow. What about, collabos here in Kenya? Because you're telling me earlier that in as much as it's not an area or a style explored, but ulikuwa unasema pia kuna wasanii wenyewe pia wanafanya such kind of music. So maybe in the East African part of the continent or even in Kenya, who would you want to collab with, and probably why? What makes it for them that you probably would want to do that with them?
I would say I'd really love to do a song with Ben Soul, my long-term friend, and Okelo Max. Yeah, tuki cross border. Let me see. Mbosso, I really like what Mbosso does, honestly. I always feel some rumba vibe in them. So yeah, Upper Kenya, OG pia. I wanna have OG in my track.
Mbona wasanii wengi wanapenda kufanya collab na OG?
OG has OG akona vibe na ni mreal yani. Yeah.
Wow, akona vibe na ni mreal.
Ni mreal, yeah.
Okay. Now, since I actually want to believe that you're someone who also does a lot of performances, perhaps on stage here and there. What would you say was your best performance, and why was it your best performance as an artist?
The first time I stepped on stage was Blankets and Wine. We went for an audition at the Elephants, and shout out to Modhoni Drama Queen. She was like, I think that's when tulikuwa tumerelease Tabu. So she was like, you guys need to come. So my first biggest stage was Africa Nouveau, Blankets and Wine. And nakumbuka tuli perform, and the host, Patricia Kihoro, came and she was like, guys, is this your first performance? And they were like, yeah. I can tell. So hiyo ndo ilikuwa the...
Oh, she could tell this was actually your first performance.
She could tell because, like, have you ever given someone a chance and this is it?
And they try to make it as good as they can.
The only thing I remember is the front part of the show was empty. When we did the first song, people started trickling down.
Wow.
To where we are. And we kept on being told, time yenyu imeisha. We didn't want to stop. And then after hapo, every time I step on stage with Heart the Band, it's always fire, fire on fire.
Yeah, because also from that your song, as you mentioned, that song is such a vibe.
It's a vibe. Tunaifanya tena na tena na tena.
All right. Let me come to the producer in a bit. And I had said that I wanted us to explore a bit of the genre a bit, because there's a part where you said that sometimes you don't need to stay so fixate on a genre that we do, which isn't like what you'd hear maybe other artists or other producers say, because they will tell you, have a style of your own. Own your style. Yani tukiona Yaba ni hii, yani tunamjana style fulani. But why would you say that?
Because people have to be, like this is a different time, it's a different year. I feel like it's era as well. People, when Gengeton started, for example, everybody was so much against it. Even me, to be honest, I was like, what is this? I can't imagine being like me singing these songs. But now it's just a wave. Even me sometimes, like, to be honest, right now, I can still vibe to it, The same way with rumba, the same way. Someone might be a pop artist, right? You might sing pop, but if I give you a rumba Ken instrumental, you might still be able to write it. Like, for example, if Justin Bieber would try to sing an African song, it'll still work, So that's what I'm saying. People really shouldn't be confined to one genre. If you can sing a reggae song and it comes and put it in an R&B way, anything can work, yani. That's what I'm saying, basically.
So also be diverse.
Yeah, don't stick to, people tell you stick to one genre. No, just sing your heart out and,
That is a new way of thinking about it. I've not heard of that before.
Yeah, for sure.
But also remember that the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, will be addressing the nation in a few, and the moment he gets to do that, we'll just be crossing over there to listen to what he has to say. Remember that also this comes at a time where we are mourning the then John Pombe Magufuli, who was the Tanzanian president. So the moment that actually happens, we'll be crossing over there to just see what he has to say, probably as it pertains to that, or perhaps any other issues. And those are just live pictures there of what might be coming up shortly, as you expect the president to address the nation in just a few minutes or a few moments from now. All right. coming back to our conversation, we talked about the best performance you ever did. No matter blankets and wines.
Yeah.
But kama msanii, kuna kwa the best na the worst. Which one was the one that just went left? And ukasema tu by the way, aki nani this one. Yani hapa tu nimeuma nje.
Kuna time tumepiga show and then steamer manze. Steamer ilikuwa ina short. So una play show alafu kick ya drama inapotea. Kick ya drama ikipotea, bass inapotea. Mic zikipotea, kitu ingine inapotea. I think that's the most depressing thing as an artist on stage. Ilikuwa show mbaya tu.
Everything just going left and left.
Tu show mbaya.
Okay, now let us talk about your creative process, and also I would love the producer to chime in a bit, but maybe I will want to start with you because nakumbuka kwanza kwa yongoma ya tena na tena, there was a time where you had said that ulikuwa to studio doing your verse and then Mordecai came with the tena na tena, and that's how the song came into place. So is it like, for you ni kukaa tu studio unakaa na producer na director, then again you get a vibe na unatengeneza wimbo, ama there's actually like some deep process that goes into your creative process as an artist?
For instance, when I was writing my latest song, She Can Get It, ilikuwa inspired tu manze, nilikuwa tu manze tao kuna warembo yani. Nimeingia tu hapa and the first thing naambia manager Tison, manze kuna wa super. You get everywhere, front of the screen, behind the cameras and stuff. So it's a daily thing. So niko na msupa na naweza nikasema, she can get it. So mostly it's the things I see around. So when the same thing na tena tulikuwa, I don't know how you remember that though.
Because I do.
Tulikuwa manze tumetulia and then I wrote a verse and Maga alikuwa ametengeneza beat and then Mordecai alitoka upstairs akakuja chini and then he was like
jamming on your verse now.
No, he came with a totally different vibe. And then he was like, now this is the hook. Apparently your hook tuli record. The chorus we recorded is like a choir. Alisema we need to sing this like upper. So ni vibe too, whatever is in front of me, and then me he knows.
Very
me
spontaneous.
Boom. I wrote over 41 songs during COVID.
In a span of what, 1 year?
Yeah, actually I think it's more. Because the hardship we were going through to choose the songs for Rumba Ken, it's because I had a lot of songs. And he's doing a different EP which is ready. I don't know when we're gonna release it. But tulikuwa from 40 to 25, from 25 to 15, 15 to 10, we recorded 10, we chose 6. Manze. So it's a daily thing, environment, society, inspiration, anything,
everything. All right, now I would have loved us to to just hear you playing one of those songs, but naambiwa sasa time inaisha manze.
Lazima tuwachezee kitu kidogo.
Time inaisha. So we'll finish actually with your song, with your latest song. So just take a look as we finish this conversation on Entertainment Thursday, but you're not yet done with the show. However, for now I leave you with Yaba's latest song, She Can Get It. Take a look.
Simply Yaba, Prince Yamboka.
Iko na mfupa mambo mbaya nyuma na mbele iko sawa watu kilandwa na gwaya totwangwa nipaka every time I get home she wanna get it. I put her down on the floor and then she get it. She loves it nice and slow, the way I hit it. The way I hit it. She can get it. She tells me, baby boy, come on, get it. I love the way you hit it. Come on, beat it, beat it, beat it. And then I hit it. I tell her, baby girl, you gon' get it. She tells me, baby boy, shut up and get it. Oh love, I wanna get it. After kuti tunapiga shower, alafu tea kwake dawa, Wagana tafuta round ya power, baby. Mtoto life for ya Kenya. unyanyapaa we. Naeza floss na wewe kwani iko nini? Naeza choma na wewe hadi wasiamini. Naeza zua rapsha kidiamini. Wakae kando fasta na jiamini. She can get it. She tells me, baby boy, come on, get it. I love the way you hit it. Come on, beat it, beat it, beat it. And then I hit it. I tell her, baby girl, you gon' get it. She tells me, baby boy, shut up and get it. Oh Lord, I wanna get it. Toto yellow, yellow, she can get it. Toto melanin, yeah, she can get it. Toto lightweight, yeah, she can get it. Toto heavy, heavy, she can get it. She can get it. She tells me, baby boy, come on, get it. I love the way you hit it. Come on, beat it, beat it, beat it. And then I hit it. I tell her, baby girl, you gon' get it. She tells me, baby boy, shut up and get it. Oh no, I wanna get it.
Mapenzi ya moyoni mwangu joto baridi yanapeta kwenye hali kaidi, ndo maana acha mtori nikupe nyama nakuniumizaga wala mie sizimi, wanipende nidekeze maidi, ndo maana chiti kidogo nikupe lana. Oh my, oh na ukinigusa na feel shy, utamna mizuka ya mapenzi haya. Oh no, oh my, tena usijaribu minitadai, kunichezea kuniacha hiyo kitu mbaya. Oh no, see I got all the eyes for you, and I wanna put my hands on you. Me, I cannot do anything bad to you, but I can do anything bad for you. One number, one number, one number, one number, one number. Oh yeah, this is one number, one number, one number, one number, one number. Oh yeah.
Do me nice, do me good, do me well, judge. Now you are divine, and now you be my remedy. Give me good vibes, give me positive energy. Me, I can't ever leave you for nobody. Salema, go back, Malata, give me some, come and play. Just share it like every day. See, I got 20 eyes on you, and I wanna put my hands on you. Me, I cannot do anything bad to you, but I can't do anything bad for you. I got all the eyes on you, and I wanna put my hands on you. Me, I cannot do anything bad to you, but I can't do anything bad for you. And I wanna put my hands on you. Me, I cannot do anything bad to you, but I can't do anything bad for you.
See, I got all the eyes for you, and I wanna put my hands on you. Me, I cannot do anything bad to you, but I can do anything bad for you. One number, one number, one number, one number, one number. Oh yeah, this is one number, one number, one number, one number, one number. Oh yeah.
Glad you are still with us right here on Good Morning Kenya. And as much as it is Entertainment Thursday, we are also keeping you up to date in regards to all the information that we are receiving in honoring the late President Magufuli, who passed on yesterday, as announced by the VP, who did say that he did rest at around 6 p.m. So anytime now, we will be expecting a briefing by our head of state, President Kenyatta, in regards to this matter. So do stay with us. We will be keeping you up to date with all that and so much more. And maybe, Regina, you could also let us know the latest in regards to this matter.
Now, the President Uhuru Kenyatta, who we're expecting to address the nation, as you can see there at the bottom end of your screen, that is a live feed that we have from State House this morning. He is a EAC chairperson, that is East African Community chairperson, and he's set to address the East African community in regard to the passing of the late John Pombe Magufuli, the 5th president of Tanzania there. And if you go back in history, he took over this position from the late. So we're going to be hearing what the president is going to be saying in regard to this particular matter. Remember, Tanzania and Kenya do not just share a border, but we have so much in common, as well as the 7th wonder, or rather the 8th wonder of the world, which is considered the world-based migration, comes all the way from the Serengeti, which is in Tanzania, crossing over to the Mara Reserve. And we have so much in common, just to show but a few that it's not just about a border, but also a people. They speak Swahili, we speak Swahili, we have Maasais there, we have Maasais here. So indeed, a loss for Tanzania is a loss for Kenya, and we continue to mourn with Tanzanians and his beloved family there, leaving behind a wife and 2 children, according to the reports that we have here. And from my messages, Regina, is that may his soul continue resting in peace. Indeed, Africa has lost his son. All right.
Fanya hivi, wewe teremuka tu chini. Hata watu wanangojea, unasema unione. Si ninakuona ndio huyu kucha. Kucha ninakuona. Nimekuita mara ngapi, Kate? This is the Nissan Note.
Hii ndio motoka.
Not that this is the Nissan Note we are giving out.
Na ni rahisi sana kuwekelea bid. Unaenda kwenye lipa na M-Pesa. Unaweka paybill number 4032353. Kisha unakelea account number ya Nissan Note ni Note, N-O-T-E. Namba ambayo unapenda, labda unapenda 100, labda unapenda 200. Wekelea Note 100, Note 200. Alafu tutakuitisha shilingi 40 peke yake, 40 bob only. Weka pin yako, utakuwa umekelea bid ya hii Nissan Note. Inakungoja wewe mahali popote ulipo. Mimi na mtumishi tutakupea.
There is a village filled with mysterious creatures who have lived happily for hundreds of years, until today.
Hello, Smurfs. Look, a transport device. Come on. This way.
All together now. My hip.
They're friendly. Do not be fooled by their cuteness. Now it's allowing you now. According to my calculations, we lost them.
On the next episode of
Somo jibaba lizima na chekechea.
Bana, nalima somo.
Mwambia mambo ya kutegemea watu mimi nitakuja yaacha kabisa.
Kutegemea watu kivipi? Sasa hicho jeuri ama nkejeli?
Tutayaona matokeo yake.